Hello and welcome to India's coolest online chat show, Chai with me, Lakshmi. We are at www.chaiwithlakshmi.in. We're also on Facebook and Twitter. That's facebook.com/Chai with Lakshmi, and the Twitter handle is at Chai with Lakshmi. It's ChaiWithlakshmi. And what's on today's webisode? Well, we bring you the secrets of Parsi chai. Adil Writer is a Parsi from Mumbai. An architect turned potter and painter, Adil now lives in Auroville, Pondicherry. On a visit to his home, he makes us the morning cup of chai the Parsi way. This leads to a fascinating conversation on the culture of chai in his community.
Not much I know about the Parsi community that most people don't know about. I guess everybody knows we landed in Gujarat when we first arrived from Persia to avoid the advent of Islam there. And then from that Gujarat coast, everything filtered down to Bombay, and that became the hub. As far as food habits go, I think we've picked up a lot of stuff from the Gujarati cuisine, Konkani food or Maharashtrian. I mean, we've just picked up things from everywhere, no? It's like that. As far as tea goes, I think we've picked it up. We've picked up a lot of this from the British. During the British Raj, a lot of Parsis were pro-British, working for the British, educated. Probably the first ladies who got education in colleges were Parsi ladies my aunt, my dad's elder sister, was one of the first ladies from St. Xavier's College getting a degree. In a time when women were not even allowed outside the house, they were English speaking and educated, you see. So this, for example, is possibly a very old piece. It was owned by my dad's kaki, Rata kaki. From her, it came to him. From him, I mean, one day he just decided to surprise me by sending it to me by courier from Bombay to Auroville. Came in 10 parts, broken. But it's still something we grew up with, seeing it all the time. It's so Art Deco. It could be from the 40s, 50s. We don't know. Again, British time, you know. So you kind of have this insulation layer on top. You open this out. You have all this stuff that insulates. You have a lid. You have a sieve inside. Yeah. It's a great industrial design product from the Industrial Revolution, probably from the British time, you know, the British days, you know. So keeps everything nice and warm. The tea custom, I guess, comes from the British days, the British concept of high tea and, you know, that sort of stuff. But somehow we have made that into our own. I don't think the British ever had tea with lemongrass and mint like we do, you know. I mean, it was always this very Earl Grey sort of thing, you know, very watery kind of tea.
So, Adil, tell me what's gone into the Parsi chai I'm having this morning and how have you made it?
A Parsi tea is, at least the way I make it, yeah, I mean, you boil milk and water, equal quantities. The milk has to be nice and good milk, not this light kind of milk. You add a good healthy amount of mint and lemongrass in it. Most Parsi houses have little boxes of lemongrass and mint fresh in their refrigerators in good quantity. I have always grown up with mint and lemongrass growing everywhere I go. You brew it till the water becomes a slight pale green. Add normal tea leaves, black tea. You brew it for just a little bit so that the color, it catches a little color. Steep it, shut the flame, steep it for about 5 minutes, and then tea is ready. It needs to be light, but there's a lot of flavor to it. It really is something you want every morning, every afternoon.
So what's Parsi chai typically had with? You know, is there anything that you dunk in the Parsi chai?
There is this concept of dunking something slightly sweetish. It doesn't have to be very sweet in the tea. You take what we call batasas. Okay. Yeah, I mean, batasas can be from Surat, which are these ghee and butter oily ones. Extremely delicious, but when we were growing up, there was no concept of looking after your flab, you know. And nowadays, the better batasas for me come out of Pune because they are not as greasy. And you take the batasa, you dunk it into your chai, you try it, and something happens to the tea and the combination of that. The batasa is not sweet. It's a savory thing. It's a salty thing. Like it?
Love it.
The sweeter version of the batasa is called a khatai, which comes in little tissue paper wrapped kind of thing, a slightly larger version of this. And those are also as an option. If you want them sweet, you take the khatai. If you want it salty, you take the batasa.
90-year-old Nergis is a Parsi friend of Adil's. She talks about chai time traditions from a bygone era in Mumbai.
Well, we used to have lunch about 12 o'clock, 12:30. Then they would all rest. Then they would all wake up and then they'll be served tea at about 3 o'clock. Being a joint family, one auntie or the other used to make the tea. Well, one auntie of mine, that was my father's sister, she was very good at making all these little, what should I say, these Parsi things, but she was very good at it. And she used to make puris, which were flaky puris. So if you couldn't break it. If you broke it, it will all fall to pieces. And if you put it in your mouth, it will all just melt. And I used to love those things. I would, of course, contribute to a cake that I would make, and I'll bring it to them and I'll give it to them for a change. That was a little bit of a get-together.
Parsi chai and batasas, you should try it.